Welcome back to It's Tool Thing. Today with a tool in use, or not necessarily in use, but review of tool in use of this Matco butterfly socket set. I did a little research because I was interested, and apparently this is a kit from roughly 10 years ago. At least that's the information I could find. It looks like it was 10 years ago that Easy Red was selling this, and Mac and Matco I saw also had rebranded them. To be honest, there's 3 sets of them, and then it looks like for some reason 10 millimeters its own separate one, which seemed odd. There's a set larger than this one that goes to 1.25 inch, a 3-piece set, and then there's a smaller set that had 4 or 5 pieces in it. I don't remember exactly, but they're all the same idea. They're all this butterfly design. They all encompass multiple sizes, which I think is one of their biggest problems with this. There's a couple of problems I want to kind of go into what I think they could do to make it a better product and maybe come back out with it, because I've been using it quite a bit on soot sensors, on O2 sensors, on NOx sensors, stuff like that. And they don't always fit, but they definitely fit quite a bit. I think with a few modifications, this could be a pretty good tool. One of the major problems I think here is, let's see the sizes come up there. They're trying to cover too many sizes. This one here, they're trying to cover 15, 16, 24, and 23. This one they're trying to cover 20, 21, 22, 13, 16, 7 eighths. This one here, 3/4, 19, and 20. This one here, 11 sixteenths, 17, and 18. I think that's one of the big mistakes with this tool, is they're trying to cover too many sizes. I understand they're trying to make it convenient, but I believe the reason that these have to be directional for tightening and loosening is because of the multiple sizes. I could be wrong. If somebody knows different, let me know down in the comments. But you get it, you take it apart, you put it around the sensor or the hose or whatever you're trying to take off that you can't get a box end wrench around, that you're going to have to use a flare nut wrench or one of these O2 sensor style sockets or something with a slit in it, which obviously is not convenient, or not as sturdy. I shouldn't say they're not convenient, but they're not as sturdy because they have the gap to be able to get the wire through. But you get it around the item you're trying to remove, and then it has a directional arrow on it. So as you can see here, the direction is going clockwise. So you'd put it around the fastener, put your ratchet or breaker bar in there, and you would turn this way, and it kind of cams in and then breaks it loose. And of course, if you're going to have to pull it again, you're going to have to undo it, slide it around, or lift it up over the fastener. Like if it's just a wire, you could lift it up high enough you wouldn't have necessarily to undo it. Get it in position again and then turn it again. Obviously, you're only going to use this as long as you can, as long as you have to. Then you can go to an open-end wrench or a crow's foot or something like that to be able to get in there. But then you have to reverse it to go the other direction. As you can see there, there's an arrow there. And I think that's due to the fact that you see the shape isn't symmetrical. And I think they did that so they could try to cover more sizes. So they could get it to go over a 15 16ths, but yet still hold on a 20, in this case a 23. And I think that's why this shape isn't uniform on these two sides here. Because on a normal socket, and this one's not as exaggerated as some of them, it's just the one that I had handy, but they tend to cut out the corners a little bit, and then it makes a rounded edge here. And of course, you can go in either direction with this, but it hits on the flats here. And I think they're trying to, swapping the directions of that is the reason that so that they can get a good bite with this shape. So the first thing I would do is limit the sizes. Make this one a 15 16ths 24 only. Make this one here a 7 eighths 20 22. Make the different one for 21 and 13 16. I think they probably get away with 2 sizes on most of them. 1 metric, 1 standard, and they could probably get it to work pretty good. But when you're trying to do, 20, 21, and 22 at the same time, that's quite a bit of difference. I mean, obviously, you put the wrong size wrench on there, you notice that you've got all kinds of slippage going on. So if they got it so it was limited on the sizes, I think they could go to a more of a standard profile where it'll hit on the flats. And that would solve one of the issues. You wouldn't have to turn the tool over, which turning the tool over itself isn't a problem. But my second thing would be a problem for turning the tool over. Or my third thing, I guess. Next we'll go into this button on the end where it swivels from. Making this thing half as big as it is would be ideal. Obviously, nothing there would be even better, like turning into an actual socket, except for where you would stick the ratchet or breaker bar in. But getting this smaller would make a great bit of difference. I've had this thing actually fit around fasteners, and because of this nub on the bottom, or the nub on the top, or the actual depth here on this nub would cause a problem. So if they could make that smaller, it'd make a dramatic difference. And the third thing I think they really should do to make this thing a formidable tool. I mean, obviously it's more of a specialized tool, but would be to make it so that this bearing sat flush, or this pivot point, so it was flush. So it was more like a zero offset wrench. You would have a flush side on this side, and then just grab this zero offset as an example here. So it would basically be like this. Obviously you'd have your split right here, and it's going to protrude some. But if you can make that bearing flush on the top and bottom, and then get this recess right here on this side, get a little bit of relief, because sometimes that'll be a problem too. But if you can merge that into this, I think it would be a formidable tool. Obviously, you're never going to be quite as tight as this. It might not even be a bad idea to maybe try to go to 12 point, but I don't know if that would be worth it. I think it'd probably be better to stay in 6 point or offer sets in 12 point and 6 point. But that's some of the big changes I think they could do to make this tool really be useful. I mean, it's pretty useful, but I've definitely ran into the times where this hits, and where it definitely feels loose on the fastener when it's the smaller size choices, and it feels a little disconcerting. Though can't say if I got a pull on one, I've always got it to work, but it isn't something you use every day either way, any which way. So it was just a kind of a quick overview, something kind of interesting that I saw, and I thought I'd bring it out, talk about it for a little bit. What do you think? Is this something maybe we can get Easy Red or somebody else to kind of take a relook at this, or is this something that is just not worth the effort? Thank you for watching. Please comment down below. And as always, have a great day.